The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
From the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the Midwest, you're watching Beyond the Blast Doors live.
Episode 85 of Beyond the Blast Doors is now live. Welcome in on this Thursday. Thanks for joining us for BTBD Live, Beyond the Blast Doors Live. We are talking about movies, TV, comic books, the books. We have live guests. We have live guests on live guests on live guests this week. That's because there is so much to talk about. And really, quite honestly, if we're being very frank, it's like we had a bunch of breaking news 3 hours before the show. That's right, because we got 3 trailers for games of various kinds coming out here in the next, 12 to 37 months. We got another look at Star Wars Squadron. We found out a couple juicy nuggets about Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, and we have learned that we are getting The Sims for Star Wars, and I could, of all these things, care about that the absolute damn least. But I'm so glad to see you here on this Thursday night. Glad you're alive and well. I'm alive. I think I'm well. I'm taking a sip of water. Per tradition, it's been wild, man. On top of a pandemic in Iowa, we got slapped with this thing called a derecho. That is an inland-type hurricane storm. Winds of up to 140 miles per hour. It is nuts. I got caught in it. I was without power for 2 weeks. You might have noticed we didn't have a show, but we're back, and we're talking about all that video game goodness. We're also going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi news regarding the fact that we know exactly how many seasons or how many not seasons we're getting. That made no sense, but I think you get the point. It's when they said it's a limited run, my goodness, did they mean a limited run? And then we also got some comic book news, as I mentioned. Really excited to talk with Dave Drennan. He is with, the latest and greatest Star Wars parody band, teaming up with Pete Fletcher and Scotty J. Rowe. They're producing some pretty cool stories, but he's also a podcaster himself. So all this and much more coming up in the next hour. And I just remind, if this is maybe your first time joining us for BTBD Live, I want to say welcome. If it's not your first time, well, you're a sucker. Welcome back. No, I'm kidding. Before we dive in, I want to say hi real quick to Cannon Junkie. We got Rural Farm Boy in the live chat. Hey, look, it's like David's in the live chat as well. We got Nick Melky. We got Matthew Arrington. Are you doing a makeup demo for us again tonight? No. So what he's referencing there is we had a Patreon call. I don't typically make a Patreon shout-out this early into the show. But basically what happened was I had 6.5 minutes to be on the Patreon call, and I had to do my makeup for work because I work in TV, and so I had to touch up my nose. Had to do a little bit of light powder, and had to do a little foundation. I do liquid-based makeup, which is a problem when I'm in HD. So it looks like I'm always sweating, so I have to get new makeup. So that's that story in a nutshell. Can you tell I'm fired up? I'm feeling really good. I will tell you this right now. You will want to watch until the very end of this episode because I've got a surprise. I've got news. I'm getting what I've wanted for about 2 years, year and a half. How long have I known this person? I'm getting my way, and it's his way too. This is the way. It's going to be great. Hey, just a reminder, though, you can always catch the Star Wars conversation here at BTBD Live every Thursday, unless there's a derecho and it takes out my power. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Yes, so many Star Wars games trailers. That's kind of like the thing. It kind of feels like 2004 when LucasArts was rocking the world. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, are our socials. Real quick off the top, I just want to talk about this. We have new information regarding the Kenobi series. The new information regarding the Kenobi series out just a couple of days ago is this, the fact that we now know how many seasons we will have of the Kenobi series. This is brought to us courtesy of The Wrap, and it's simply a season. Kathleen Kennedy tells The Wrap 3 days ago that basically this show is designed for one season. I think it is incredibly safe. I think that is probably the best move because a lot of people have had complaints, comments, grievances about what all can you tell about Kenobi in the desert. Can Kenobi leave Tatooine between leaving Luke with the Lars homestead at the end of Revenge of the Sith and then the events of A New Hope? I like to think that he could bounce off the planet randomly. I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe Ahsoka found him on Tatooine and they had to do a side mission or something or whatnot. I would be fine with that. But this is a very tight story. and we have Deborah Chow directing this story. And we know Deborah Chow's work from a multitude of projects, but most recently, most significantly in the Star Wars world, is she's directed maybe arguably the greatest episodes of The Mandalorian. You know, the first Star Wars live-action series that we were graced with as fans, and we should, at the altar of Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, because it was overall extremely successful. So I'm really excited to see this tight story. Now, we don't know how many episodes are in this one season. It could be 4, it could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 10. But I like the idea of it being a single season because it is tight storytelling. And you know that Deborah Chow has a great way of, like, cinematically telling a very intimate story with her framing, but also she knows how to capture that action. And that really excites me because the action that could be in the story. We friends of our show, we're rumors is a rumor, but apparently there's a chance that Commander Cody could also be involved with this show. There's also been rumors that Anakin, Hayden Christensen is back in flashbacks as Anakin Skywalker. I don't know, maybe if Rosario Dawson is around doing work for Ahsoka on The Mandalorian, maybe she, gets on a plane and does some stuff for the Kenobi. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors. But you don't just bring Deborah Chow in just to tell a character story, which this is. I mean, I'm hoping that we get a broken man in the desert, PTSD. He's witnessed tons of his fellow Jedi and loyal clones die. The war did not end the way he anticipated, the way the galaxy that was aware of the war anticipated. The Jedi were manipulated, destroyed from within, and he has to deal with all of that stuff. And there's this little boy, he spits up on himself as he's being carried across the sands of Tatooine so he can be delivered to Owen and Beru Lars. One will love him unconditionally. The other, well, he'd rather not have him there. Let's be honest. Owen was an ass and did not want to have anything to do with this child. So there's a lot of things here that Ben at the time is having to contemplate. Like, how is he going to help this boy grow up? And, when is he going to give him this father's lightsaber? When he start lying to him at 6 years. No, I'll wait. He waits till he's 19 years old to start lying to him. That's later than most parents or guardians. Parents and guardians do tend to lie to their kids earlier on. I hope there's no one, Santa. I don't know. I mean, it's not my place. It's not my place. Having a good time. But those are the thoughts that I have immediately about this. I want that struggling Jedi in the sands, but I want action, and I want a hell of a lot more than just him taking on some Tusken Raiders. Maybe I'm selfish. Maybe I'm asking for too much, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know what to tell you. It could all go down in fire, but I have a lot of faith in the live-action Star Wars storytelling that we've gotten so far. Because of the storytelling we've already gotten so far, I think Deborah Chow's going to crush it. You obviously have Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're seeing some set images leak online. I don't show the leaks. I've learned my lesson with that. We're not going to touch those, but the set's happening. COVID still a thing in our world, but production is going to happen sooner than later for the show, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like. I want to know what you think about this series. I want to know what you think. Are you upset that it's only one season? I think it's going to provide for concise storytelling. There's not room for filler. There might be some filler scenes, but we're not going to have the issue of like Rebels where we have space whales. That was a little silly. There's some filler in Clone Wars that we weren't all a fan of. We got a final season. I love season 7, but there were episodes with these sisters we didn't need. People say it's pivotal for Ahsoka's growth, but I don't know, man. I think you could have gone from the Bad Batch right to Mandalore, and I would have been just fine. But these are arguments that I don't want to get on. I don't want to get into these arguments today. I want us to stay friends. I want us to have a good time. It's me and it's you in this moment together. But let me know down in the live chat what you think about one season of Kenobi. We get one season for Ewan McGregor to come back. Honest to God, I love it because you know what? It's more Obi-Wan than I thought we were going to get, which was 0. I didn't think that we'd get Ewan McGregor back. We've been asking for it for years and years. They came through. I'm really excited. But let me know in the live chat if you're watching live, if you're watching on the rewind, comment down below. What do you think about one season for Obi-Wan Kenobi? Into the live chat right now, it looks like we have Matthew Harrington talking about I will take any and all Kenobi I can get. Gilster thinks Deborah Chow will get to direct a Star Wars movie. I'd be fine with that. Looks like Pete's in the live chat. Happy to see him. We got Vader's Girl 28 with us. Vader's Girl. So glad you're with us. It really means a lot that you're here. So glad to see you. Rural Farm Boy rambles, David does. I don't think I'm rambling. I think I'm just listing you reason after reason why I'm excited for this season of Kenobi. I'm glad it's a season. I think you do anything more than a season, I think that then that show rambles, honestly, Rural Farm Boy. I think that show, if you go beyond a season, I think you get lost and you're stretching a lot. Remember, Kenobi was originally supposed to be a movie. It was a Kenobi film. It was going to be a Star Wars story. And then they took that script and they broke it up into chunks, and then they had to go in there and rework it. We got Deborah Chow on board. It looks like she's kind of like the savior in all this. Really excited to see what they do. Who else is talking to me? We got Canon Junkie. Yes, talking to Rez in the live chat. That's the other thing that I love about the live show we do here every Thursday on the Beyond the Blast Doors Network, BTBD Live, is that you get the chance to catch up with friends, and you guys in the chat have a show of your own. I could theoretically do no prep at all, and I could just have you guys telling me what you think about X, Y, and Z. We could just have a conversation on that, and maybe that is a show in the future. But it's not this week, unfortunately. There is just too much to talk about, guys. There is too much to talk about and not enough time. That is the situation that we are in right now. Okay, so without further ado, you're going to let me know what's going on. I do want to mention, though, I failed to mention this, that we do have a quote from Kathleen Kennedy, and I do want to pull it up real quick. She says, "It's been very exciting to see the talent that's come in, and we're now developing the limited Obi-Wan Kenobi series with Deborah Chow, and she's just been doing a phenomenal job." So if you didn't like my words, if you thought I rambled too much, I'll just give you Kathleen Kennedy's words, and she seems very happy. And if she's happy, I guess we can all be happy. The woman's made like $5 billion in profit with these movies, or not $5 billion. They gross at the box office a lot of money. She figures it out. We don't necessarily get the directors right the first time, and sometimes the second time, but hey, sometimes third time's the charm. And it only took us twice with the Kenobi series. We're rock and rolling. Hey, I'm happy. I'm optimistic. I'm not paid to be a producer. I'm not paid to be the CEO of Lucasfilm. I've met a lot of fans who are jerks. I wouldn't want to have to satisfy them on a daily basis. But let's be honest, I don't think she's trying to satisfy those people either. Okay, so without further ado, I want to get to the heart of this episode, and I'm really excited about this. This is now going to be an absolute blast, because joining us now live right now on Beyond the Blast Doors BTBD Live, we have David Drennan, singer and songwriter with Silver Colored Knob. That's right, Silver Colored Knob. Where have you seen that before? It's a Star Wars reference in itself. It's a band that features Pete Fletzer and Scotty J-Ro that we all know here from the BTBD net as well. There are 2 tracks out right now online. This is The Way You Make Me Feel. That dropped in early August. We now have this week a second track called Stormtrooper, and I just got to ask, for all intentions, just 2020 is a wild year, man, and you're finding yourself, you're on vacation, but you're on BTB Live, so how are you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm happy to be here. So yeah, I was really funny as you were introducing me. I want to hear you say "silver colored knob" fast 3 times, because that's like impossible to do.
Yeah, you guys created that name, like it's tongue in cheek, but like Silver Colored Knob, Silver Colored Knob, Silver Colored Knob. That is a tongue twister.
You did it.
I think I did it.
I think you did. Yeah, you did. Well, we decided we might just call ourselves SCK for short, or sick. So we're just totally sick, right? That's in a good way.
That would be fine, but I encourage you to stick with Silver Colored Knob, because it's this is the way. This is the way it's meant to be, right? So
right.
We have a great conversation ahead of us. We're also going to listen to that latest track, Stormtrooper, together. But
awesome.
I got to figure, like, I just want to start at the very beginning of how does this band, this parody group assemble, the latest Star Wars parody band on the block? How do you make this band a reality?
By a joke, a tweet that was basically a joke. So somebody tweeted something. It might have been Steel from Steel Wars. I can't remember where the initial tweet started, but Pete Fletzer from Around the Galaxy responded, because in the tweet there was something referencing the silver colored knob. And Pete said, "That's going to be the name of my next band." I saw it. I immediately chimed in and said, "Hey, Pete, can I be in that band?" He knows that I play bass. He and I have talked. He's a bass player and also a drummer. And he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, man, you can play bass. I'll ask Scotty J-Ro to play guitar, and now we just need a singer." I was like, I sing too. What do you know about that? And then Silver Color Knob was formed in a tweet. And then I sent them a private message, just like, hey guys, if you're serious about this, I'll write us a song. And right after that, I was scrolling through Twitter mindlessly, as we all do, and I saw Lacey Gillerin had tweeted something, and it was a GIF, whatever, of little baby Yoda, and it was his ears flapping, and she said something about loving the way his ears were flapping, the way the wind, flapped his ears or something, and I was like, I think I can make a song out of that. So I told the guys, hey, I'm working on a song. And we have Lacey to kind of thank for the inspiration. So the line in "This Is the Way" about the way the wind blows your tiny ears. She didn't say it exactly that way, but that's how it came out in the song, and it was inspired by a Lacey tweet. So
I freaking love that. I love how it's definitely a community effort, which I was unaware of, frankly. I thought this was like you, Scotty, and Pete in a Twitter DM message just being like, hey, what if we did this? I think this story is so much more rich, and honestly,
the truth comes out.
Right. We're taking you inside of Silver Colored Knob tonight on BTBD Live. This is just a really cool insight into the creation, and it's funny how something like this comes to fruition, and the creative process to me is so interesting with any kind of project, but like this, especially with music, how it's just you take it from a tweet, someone chimes in. I think that's incredible. When you decide you guys are going to make this band, and you decide, how do you come up to the point where you're going to have an 80s sound? Because I feel like I was born in 92. Yeah. So I feel like I've listened to the songs that you're creating on VH1 that were reruns of the decade prior.
Okay, so yeah, I'm an 80s child, and Pete and I are the same age. Actually, I just celebrated my 51st birthday on Sunday.
I'm not calling you old.
No, that's fine.
But
you saying. Are the same age as my son. I'll just say that I'm as fast as father and son. You and Timothy. He was born.
And now you made it strange. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, I'm sorry. But so the way it happens is in the DM, I'm like, guys, do we want to be serious or do we want this to be parody? Pete immediately responds, parody. It's the only way to go. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So then I'm sitting in my chair at home thinking, crap, I just said I was going to write a song, and it has to be about Baby Yoda now because I just said something about Lacey's tweet. So I'm like sitting there and I just start typing some things on my phone, and before I know it, I'm like, okay, guys, I think I got something, and I'm thinking 80s right now. I just feel like there's an 80s vibe in me. So I grab my acoustic guitar, and I honestly wrote that song in 10 minutes. I couldn't even believe it. It's like suddenly the muse hit. And in 10 minutes, I had This Is the Way. I sent them a very rough acoustic, me playing it, and they were both like, yep, we're in, let's do this. And I believe Pete can confirm this, but I think in 8 days, we had the song recorded and a lyric video made, because he's just fast with the videos. So yeah, I think it took a week, and the song came out.
I think that's incredible. And do you have a favorite lyric from that first track that you like to maybe sing to yourself in the shower? You're driving to work and it just slaps, as the kids say?
No, I think it's just funny because all I can think of was the moment when the Mandalorian puts his finger out and Baby Yoda grabs it. I thought, if we're going to do parody, even though this didn't really end up being a parody per se, it's more of a tongue-in-cheek. But I was, the line that comes to me all the time is, everything changed when you pulled my finger. I mean, that's the one. That's the one. When that came out, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be fun. But no, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, the original version of the song didn't have Moff Gideon in it, and I thought it was missing something. And I started thinking I wanted to add like Cara Dune and Grief Karga and all that, but those are very wordy names. But I thought Moff Gideon and his TIE fighter, because we were already talking about Blaster Fire was in there. I was like, oh, he's chasing us in this TIE fighter. So little stuff like that, But
very cool, very cool. We have this song, the latest track, Stormtrooper, that dropped just a few days ago. You can listen to it various variety of locations. We'll pull that up for you in a little bit. We'll shout that out too. But before we listen to this song, David, is there anything that we should know about this track? Is there a funny story about its development, or is there a story behind this more so than the obvious?
Yeah, there is. It actually started out. I'm not going to say who it was about, but it wasn't about stormtroopers, because we might use the idea of who it was about. But it was about another lesser known character. I'm just going to give it away, who actually doesn't have a name, but has an unofficial name. And I wrote the lyrics for it, and we were all like, that's a little too obscure right now. We need this to be something else. So we had the riff. Pete had actually sent me a guitar riff this time, and he was like, hey, we can do something with this. I sat down, just jotted down some lyrics, and we both were like, this is okay, but it's not where we need to go. And so then somehow the lyrics changed to Stormtrooper. I just massaged a couple of the verses. And honestly, between Pete and I, we thought this song was going to die on the vine like a week and a half ago, or whenever the song came out, like the week of. Both of us were like, yeah, this isn't happening. And then just one day, boom, I recorded some guitar parts. He already had his drum part. I recorded a bass part that I didn't like, and I didn't tell him that, but thankfully he said, can I record a bass line? I was like, please do. I don't like it. The bass you hear on there, the drums you hear on, that's all Pete. He's an amazing drummer and bassist. I was so happy, Pete. I can't thank you enough. Your bass line is way better than the one I had written. And then I recorded all the guitars in one day. Unfortunately, Scotty has been very busy, so we recorded some stuff without Scotty on this one. But I've been telling him in Twitter, you got to learn this stuff because we're going to play it live someday. So Scotty, if you're listening, learn the guitar parts. Anyway, the funny story is the song started out as something else and ended up being Stormtrooper, which I am really happy about. I've got 2 grown kids, and we are on vacation this week. I have family that has a condo in Florida, and they have gone around the house a couple of times since it came out, and I hear them in the background, Stormtrooper. I'm like, yeah.
I was going to try and make the joke earlier that Scotty doesn't know, but now I just kind of feel like a dork for making that, especially since it's late. You tell that sweet story of your son, which we're going to talk about, Timothy, in a little bit. But let's go ahead, and we are going to pull up Stormtrooper. This is by Silver Collared Knob. I keep thinking I say like collared, like a dog collar, but it's definitely like colored. And we're going to pull this up. I'm really excited to do this. I think technically it's been online, but we're going to go ahead and just say, you know what, this is the debut. So, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, this is Stormtrooper by Silver Colored Knob. Enjoy.
All right, men, load your weapons. You know what's going on? Maybe it's another drill. Follow me.
And there you have it, everybody. That was Stormtrooper by Silver Colored Knob. Lyrics by David Drennan. Music with David and Pete Fletzer. My goodness, that was so fun. And I got to pull up David here so we can talk about this again. But when you think about the fact that we just got to listen to that song with everybody on the show, what is that like for you, David? Because I feel like it's got to be pretty exciting for you.
It is. It's very surreal. It's like, am I really here right now? Is this really happening? I'm like on a really cool YouTube podcast, and they just played a song that I wrote. Not only wrote, got to play guitar on, sing, and with guys that I did it with. We've done this virtually. I mean, I'm in Arkansas normally, and Scotty's in Louisiana. Pete's in. I don't want to give everybody's locations away, but we're on 3 different states. And it's like, how did we do this? How did we freaking do this? We all just went home. Funny stories all around about, for me, especially, I have this small walk-in closet, but I sent the guys a picture one day. I literally made a sound booth out of it just by putting blankets up all over the place so I could record with no sound. And it's like, how do we do this? It's a very surreal experience to see and hear all of that right there.
I got to tell you, it's like Matthew said in the live chat. It's just 3 guys playing with their knobs.
I just saw
that was great.
Thanks,
I
Matthew.
like this comment too that we got here from Pete Fletzer. It's like an MTV flashback. It's so fun. And the comment that I made earlier, I wasn't trying to be a smart mouth. I feel like I've heard this song before. Like the guitar riff is really sweet. The drums, I'm bopping my head during this song. So you guys got to be proud. I mean, not that like my stamp of approval is anything, but it's really it's catchy. And my favorite lyric has to be, "That recruiter was such a liar. I'm going to die here all alone." I've listened to the song 4 times, I think, at this point, 3 or 4 times. And that line always just makes me chuckle. Because if there's anything that's true about Stormtroopers, they're going to die fairly easily. And also they have the crappiest aim around. So you did a great job with that. That was so fun to be able to listen to that with you. Do you hear the song back? Do you want to change anything? Or are you like, no, that song's the way it's meant to be. Now I'm going to work on the 3rd.
Crazily enough, I don't want to change that one, because normally there's something I'll go back and go, because like on This Is the Way, I could tell you, but I'm not gonna. But like on, there's things I would want to change. On this one, I'm so happy and pleased with it. It's like, I don't even know how that never happens. So I hope Pete feels the same. But yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to encourage you to change anything. Really, I was trying to get you to go down the different way, which is saying that there's a 3rd song on the way. Like, when's the EP, man?
Oh, yes. There's a song being worked on. We've had a couple of ideas. Matthew,
we can confirm that. Breaking live on BTB Live.
We have a couple of other ideas. I don't think I want to give too much away right now. But I will. I did mean to say this earlier that we've started coming up with band nicknames now, and so our drummer's nickname is Stunner. You'll have to ask him. So Stunner, I'm real proud of you, man. You rock, baby. Stunner is the best.
Drinking the Modelo while you're on BTBD Live. Look at this guy. He likes the Mexican beers.
It's the best beer ever, man.
Well, keep the logo down. They don't sponsor this show. We don't need to give them. I'm just kidding. If Modelo did want to sponsor the show, I gladly will drink Modelo.
Please do.
So the one thing I do want to touch on before I let you go, David, and thanks again for doing this with us, listening to the song, giving us some insight into the formation of the band and what goes into writing these songs. You're also a name in the podcast community as father and son. You run that with your son, Timothy.
Correct.
I'd love to ask you about that, because I think so many fans have that critical family member that maybe first introduced them to Star Wars. What is it like to celebrate Star Wars with your son in that way? You know, you're engaging the fandom on a podcast with your son. What is that experience like for you?
It's been really just gratifying, satisfying, just because of, the relationship that I've had with him, his whole life. I've raised him on certain things that I always loved, whether it was Star Wars or Batman. And he has these things just, from a very young age, younger than my wife wanted, if I'm being honest. But it's just a gratifying feeling. We have always sat around and had this one long conversation about Star Wars every time we get together. He's married now. He actually has a new baby now. But every time they would come to our house, he and I would just pick up where we left off. And one day, 2 years ago, I said, we ought to do this on YouTube. We could call ourselves as father and son, like Vader, saying, join me and together as father and son will rule the galaxy. We joked about it. And then it just happened. One day I showed up at his house. We recorded ourselves playing a video game, Star Wars, Super Star Wars, and we put it on YouTube. We started a channel, and then we just started having conversations and doing essays. And it's really, like I said, it's gratifying. It's just really cool. And we do drive our wives crazy. I mean, we can't be together without having Star Wars as part of the conversation. But
So I want to ask a couple questions here, and these might make you uncomfortable. Does your wife like his wife?
Yes.
Good. That's
Yes.
a good thing.
Thankfully, yes, it's all good. Yeah, she's one of us. She's one of ours. We have a daughter, a little younger than our son, but now we have an extra daughter, and she is just as much our daughter, and we love her. So, and
That's
she's here
good.
with us. They're here. The grandbaby's here. We're all hanging out for a week in Florida.
I'm glad there's
we all
no
like
family
each other.
conflict like in
No.
Star Wars. That would be a tragedy. No.
Yeah, and
So
thankfully they all like Star Wars too. They're just not as crazy about it as us. They'll wear some T-shirts, they'll watch the movies, they'll go to the movies. They won't watch it a million times like we do, but
Yeah, that's how it is with my wife. She'll watch the movies with me, but then it's like, hey, I got you these Star Wars pajamas, and she walks in, she leaves me. She actually threatens divorce. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I didn't know the origin of the show was actually that line from Empire Strikes Back. So I guess you can call me a trash Star Wars fan because I didn't catch it. But that is like, it's not a deep cut. It's clever though. Like you have so many people that just are like, I don't know. You could be like, the Sandcrawler podcast. They're like, oh, all right. But that's legit. You guys really branded this well.
well, thank you. Yeah, that was, like I said, and it was really in passing. It was kind of like, why don't we do a YouTube channel and we'll do Darth Vader's line as father and son, and it stuck, and it never left either one of us. And so we just decided, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. And if we have one follower or 100, whatever. And I somehow or other we have over 500 followers on Twitter. Thank you all. I don't even know how we got there. It just happens.
And does your perspective on anything change as you're talking about Star Wars through the eyes of your son, who's now a married man of his own? Like does that do you start to see things differently just because of how he's maturing?
A little. I mean, and there's some things that we don't always see eye to eye on. We're always super positive. We try to stay a positive voice in the community. That's our goal. And we'll try not to do negative things on our show or even on Twitter. But sometimes we'll be talking about something and I'll say something that he and I don't agree with. And that might be something we let bleed into our show eventually. Our show's kind of been on hiatus after he had the baby. It's been a super busy year. And then, of course, everything else hit with 2020, which whatever. but yeah, so we've been a little busy and we actually haven't had a show. But thankfully, we are a part of something that's happening this weekend. I'm not trying to plug some other thing on your show, but we are going to be, there's Force Fest this weekend, and we've been told we can load that show to our channel when we're done. So we'll have some new content on our channel.
Yeah,
if
very
I can plug
cool.
our channel
Very cool.
as father
Yeah.
and son. But
yeah, and just obviously with your son now being a dad, like, do you find himself like maybe making not mistakes, but like you're having fun watching him try and figure it out?
Oh, sure. There are things that you just sit back and you're like, oh, I remember what that's like. And the kid's a good kid. Thankfully, he's 6 months old, about to be next week. He'll be 6 months old. He's a good kid. He's like super content. It's like amazing how content this child is. But he has his moments. We did drive to Florida. We had to stop several times and do some baby things with them. They were following us. But yeah, it's just fun watching him be a dad. And we made the joke when they got pregnant. It was, oh gosh, and we found out he was a boy, that now we're as father and son and son. So someday the legacy will continue.
Well, yeah, as father and son, it's as father, as son, and as grandson. Before we let you go, real quick, David, social media, where's the best place for people to find you and follow the band?
Okay, so Silver Colored Knob is at Silver Knob Band on Twitter. So you can look for that. I think I got that right. Pete put it in the comment if I don't, but I think I got that right. I meant to look it up. Yeah, at Silver Knob Band on Twitter. And then if you guys want to follow As Father and Son, we're at ASFAS 92 on Twitter, or you can go to YouTube, slash as father and son, all one word.
Very cool. Well, David, I just want to say thank you again. It's not just Star Wars I want to talk about. Obviously, we have you and we talk about the songs and the show, but I love hearing about like the family dynamic and fathers and sons. It's great. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. And David, we'll be in touch soon. We'll be looking at keeping an eye out for that third track. All right, buddy?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I sure appreciate being here, guys. And I'll stay in the chat and keep talking to these guys. They're crazy.
All right, David, thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
That is David Drennan joining us on BTBD Live, episode 85 here on a Thursday. I'm so happy. That interview probably went a little bit longer than I had slotted for originally, but I just think that it is always so cool. I love hearing like the father-son dynamic, and it's not the first time I've done this, and Pete Fletcher will also, he'll agree with us when, if I ever have him on the show in the very near future. But this is a thing I do. I love learning about the father-son dynamic. That's how I got into Star Wars. I'm always very thankful for that I was able to share this with my dad. I get to see my dad tomorrow. So, we'll probably talk about Star Wars at some point on the golf course, and I'm really looking forward to that opportunity. What a great conversation that was. What was your favorite part of that Star Wars conversation we just had with David Drennan? I want to know what you think. Please, by all means, let me know in the live chat. You can say whatever the hell you want really in the live chat, or you can hit me up on Twitter at BTBD Star Wars. You can also follow me directly on Twitter at Ammo on the Air. Ammo, AMMO, on the air. You can join me there, and we can have a rip-roaring time talking about the Star Wars. That's what we like to do. We like to talk about the Star Wars because that's why we have the show. That's really the whole premise. And something else I want to talk about, because I have time to talk about this, and I think it's super important that I bring this up, is the fact that we have some great new content on BeyondTheBlastDoors.com right now. And when you wake up in the morning, I want you to get your Star Wars fix from BeyondTheBlastDoors.com. We want to give you the complete experience. Our live shows, like this live show, if you ever miss us live, just go to our website. You can find the recorded version of it, which is just the live show that you're not watching live. Our podcast feeds for all of the shows, streaming Star Wars Around the Galaxy, Holo Chronicles. You got the Bombad Cast. You've got Postcards. You got all of these great shows. Boom, they're right there. You can also get our comic book reviews. We have news, speculation, and opinion pieces all written by our BTBD network personalities that you enjoy. So movies, TV, books, comics, toys, cosplay, and more than that. It's the Beyond the Blast Doors network on BeyondTheBlastDoors.com, and we're so glad that you're part of our Star Wars conversation. And so this is kind of the story that we're talking about today. This is the big news. And I'm going to go ahead and preview this. I think we have someone in the live chat. Wait, what's going on here? Let me see if I can figure out what's going on. This is what we call vamping. Well, I don't think I call it vamping. I think that this is what I think people call it. But basically what I'm doing is I'm buying time because I believe that I have a guest on the line, and I'm hoping he's able to join me. And I hope I'm stalling enough for him. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be full of it right now, and I'm hoping not. He needs to honestly be in the live chat, because if not, it's going to make me look like an absolute fool. And I don't want that. You don't want that. We all don't want that. So I am going to show you this impressive article really quick that Shannon Moran has on the website right now. It's her early reaction to the 3 trailers we got today: Star Wars Squadrons, we got the Sims for Star Wars, and we got the gameplay footage for the Skywalker saga. And I am going to go through all of these with you. But before I do that, I do want to mention, oh, hey, here's something that I forgot to mention. This is great. This is going to get me exactly what I need. Can you tell that I do this as a professional? People are going, what the heck is going on? He looks like he kind of has like a stutter. He kind of looks like he has like an itch. He kind of looks like he doesn't know how to frame his shot. He kind of looks like he's balding. That's rude. My hair is not thinning, even though my wife told me that I probably will need plugs as I get older. But I do want to mention that we have some comic book news. Dr. Aphra came out this week. Number 3. This is the second take on Afra, by the way. So there was like a full run that got brought to an end. This is with Alyssa Wong and Marika Cresta. Some great art here, and that's probably what I like about it the most. I'm not diving into what this is about. Basically, we're going head-to-head with Ronin Tagi and the Mercenaries. I pronounce it Tagi. Maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know. But there's a traitor in the midst, and you can pick up this comic book right now on your shelves. Comic book shelves at your LCS. It dropped yesterday, but I'm telling you, it's the art that makes it worth it. I just love the cover because it's shattered. But there is one thing that I love more than this cover, and it is the face of Pete Fletcher. Pete Fletcher with us, everybody. This is great,
Hey.
Pete. Great to see you. Hey, you're right there. My God, your mic peaked a little bit.
Oh,
that was loud.
That's how excited I was to be here. I had to scream.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God. Sorry about that.
I'm so glad you're here. I was vamping, and people were like, "That's not what it's called." But I was buying time because I wanted to have you here. I guess we're doing an extended episode of BTBD Live tonight. I got carried away because I talked with your counterpart, David Drennan. Well, you were in the live chat.
I enjoyed it. David's. I'm glad. You know, you asked him what it felt like to be talking about some music that you created, and it was probably just as weird for me to sit there watching somebody else talk about music that I was involved in. And I'm not going to talk about any of it right now, but it was so cool. He did such a great job, and he's a great guy. We're having so much fun. Just this virtual band, and you know, in this time of COVID, his band and my band are kind of on hold and not being able to play out in bars and stuff. So to play music with other Star Wars fans and just nerd out, it's so awesome. And of course, the work we did with Scotty is a blast as well. But this is it was just cool to watch him on there. He's like a natural. He's a front man. I'm definitely a drummer and a bass player. I'll stand in the back and stay silent.
Well, he had the long neck beer in his hand and the tank top. Like, the guy is jacked. So I mean, he looks like a front man, but you look like the rhythm guy. You know, you look like you can do guitar, the bass, the drums.
Yep.
I'm being really serious, Pete. Like, I'm so glad we got to do that because it was really cool to share that. The guitar was awesome. Like, and he was talking about the drums. I told him, man, this feels like a song I would have, like, not the song, like, it sounds like a song I would hear on the radio.
Yeah.
But if, honest to God, if Stormtrooper gets on the radio, I want 10% of the royalties because it is on our shared YouTube
Tell you what,
channel.
you make it happen, you get your 10%. We're good to go.
Sounds good, man. Hey, so we've got a special treat because I didn't promote this at all, other than a special announcement on BTB Live tonight, and we've overcome so much to make this episode happen tonight, and we had a special announcement. Do you want to do that now?
Sure.
Or should we go through? All right, we'll go do that now.
Yeah.
Then we'll take a look at the trailers real quick. I think we can have the kids in bed by 10:30.
I think we can.
But I don't want to. Yeah, I'm so happy.
The sitter's coming. We gotta get the sitter home. It's a mess.
I hope that when people watch this episode, maybe you're watching live with us in this moment, or you're watching the rewind, or you're listening. I hope you hear the excitement. I know I'm talking a little fast tonight. I know that I'm a little louder. I'm a little higher pitched. When I get excited, I kind of go up an octave. I'm so happy because Beyond the Blast Doors was a thing that started in 2016 because I was like, I don't know what to do with my time, and I'm going through a crisis. And then it was like, oh, I met all these cool people on the internet, including Pete. We want to do the show together. We started talking about a network, meet more cool people. We started a network. BTBD Live has gone through 3 versions already, and there's going to be a 4th. Because my buddy and I are going to make what we wanted for about a year to happen finally happen. And starting next week, Pete Fletcher will become the permanent co-host of BTBD Live, joining me every week Thursday. And I got emotional about it earlier. I didn't tell you this because I knew he would not believe me or just laugh at me like he just did.
I'm laughing with you, my friend. Laughing with you.
This random mid-aged guy hits me up on Facebook like 18 months ago or 2 years ago and is like, hey, I like how you talk about Star Wars. You're not a douche. Let's talk about Star Wars. And then I was like, that would be great. So now we're going to do it. And there's a couple things that I think that we should probably address right off the top, Pete. First, I want to say that because of this decision, it also means that streaming Star Wars is going to be modified and become a segment on BTB Live every Thursday night. And Pete, if I could just ask you real quick, we love that idea because we're able to tell that new stuff on BTB Live, but we kind of feel like the relaxed vibe of streaming Star Wars combined with a more formal presentation
Yeah.
of BTBD Live. We think this is a perfect marriage.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, a little bit behind the curtains, there's been a lot of talk over, since the network's been in place, since we launched streaming Star Wars, where, you and I would just sort of talk back and forth about, the news plan for BTBD Live and the news plan for streaming Star Wars. We're like, we're hitting the same things. And the reality is, I think a lot of the stuff that we've been hearing about Star Wars for the next several years is that Star Wars is going to be happening a lot on Disney Plus, and that's where the news is going to be. So it just makes sense to be here. The other thing is, we prided ourselves with streaming Star Wars as being the only Disney Plus Star Wars only show. But what's great is David you've done such a great job of being really the only live Star Wars news show that's on every single week. So it makes sense to bring the two shows together. And, we're working on something for Friday nights. So you'll still have your Star Wars fix on Friday nights, but I think this is just it's gonna expand and make Beyond the Blast Doors Live an even better event. And it allows us to bring the Disney Plus Star Wars news to the comics news, to the books news, to the movie news, to anything happening in Star Wars, and it makes it a more cohesive show. I'd love to hear in the chat what you guys think of it. We're not going to change our minds, but, but I'm curious to see where you guys come
You're
down
not
on
wrong. No, we'll dive in the live chat. Matthew asks who's Batman and who's Robin. There's it's not like that. It's two friends talking Star Wars. What I'm excited about is, I kind of thought it was in the back of my head for a while that I was like, it makes a lot of sense for Pete to join me on BTB Live. I moved towns. David and Jesse were no longer able to continue doing the show, and at the time I didn't have a way to do the show still with them. And I've been doing the show solo for, I don't know, several months. But this show is at its best when there is a straight man and a funny man. And
I was wondering where you were going with that one.
I don't know which role I fill. It depends on the day and what I'm wearing. But it's really at its best. And I think that Pete and I did streaming Star Wars to give us a show to do. I didn't want to be on Around the Galaxy. Around the Galaxy does not really allow for it's Pete and his guest, and it's very intimate, and it's perfect the way it is. It doesn't need anyone else involved. We wanted to show. And the thing about it is, honest to God, streaming Star Wars looks pretty much like BTBD Live.
Yeah.
And so now we get to have just, this is the show. Like we said in the text message today, this is the way, and we are super excited about it. Cannon Junkie asks, when does the funny one get here? That is just a dig in my heart. It's killing me. Rural Farm Boy says he wants some Star Wars trivia. Maybe we can make that happen.
Maybe we can make that happen.
Will there be a show at Celebration? Gilster asks. You know what? I've said this once, I think, before publicly, and I think Pete still backs me up. I don't know if I want a BTBD Live show at Star Wars Celebration. I want a Beyond the Blast Doors network panel at Celebration where we're all together.
Here's what I want. Yeah, I want to Beyond the Blast Doors network panel, and then I want BTBD to be broadcasting live the Thursday from Celebration 2022. So
yeah, that's what I want too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's possible. I think it's possible because of the community that we have here. There is like a group of 15 people that are always with us every week, but then there's also those one or two people that kind of stroll on in. They get a sample of what we do on the network, and they fall in love with it. And you know what? I know that we're talking about us. I know we're talking about Pete and I teaming up.
Star Wars news, man.
But you know what? I also want to shout out the Holo Chronicles. This Andy and Josh have elevated the game, not just with their look and their sound, but the conversation they have as far as collecting goes. I have a modest my collection is what you see behind me, fam. Okay? But the places they go, it is such a great conversation. If you like collecting or you like to live vicariously through other people who have way more money and way more collections than we have, then you should check out the Holo Chronicles. Andy and Josh doing a great job. Also, I want to shout out Shannon Moran because she did a great episode recently about the LGBTQ community and Star Wars and the shared moment there. You need to check that out. She does episodes. I'd say she averages one a month.
Yep.
It's some of the deepest, richest Star Wars fandom you'll ever experience in your life. She has an incredible voice, but it's how she empowers other people
Yep.
and gives them a voice. You don't get better than that, and I'm so proud of everybody. Bombadcast is doing a damn good job too. Okay, so I'm done brown nosing my network. Oh God, I got my back. It's stiff. I'm just so happy that we were able to tell you guys about what Pete and I are doing. And you know what? We mentioned the network. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to talk about some other exciting news happening with the Beyond the Blast Doors network. We might as well do it because we have a chance here. The Podathon 2020, all to
Yes.
support Make-A-Wish. This is September 5th. This is a Saturday from sunrise to sundown, depending on where you live. You're going to get the full network. And Pete, we're also going to have some pretty cool special guests.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so far on the lineup, we first of all, what's kind of cool too is even though we have 5 shows on the network, we have invited a couple of guests. If you're a fan of Fantha Tracks, and if you're not, you should be. Fantha Tracks is going to do Mark Newbold and his co-host are going to do a show as part of the Beyond the Blast Doors Podathon. So that is going to be awesome. We are also going to we're going to have some great guests, including Alex Segura, who just wrote Poe Freefall, Poe Dameron Freefall. We have, speaking of Alex's, we have Alex Damon joining the Bombad cast. And probably a last hurrah for streaming Star Wars will be me and David speaking with Noah and Corey from Kessel Run Transmissions. We've got Bespin. I'm just going to screw it up, but the Bespin show, whatever that is, that's with Shannon, and that's just some of the guests. We're also going to launch a new show on the network. Should I talk about what it's called or no?
Well, I think you know what I think. What we do is we make that maybe the big announcement on the Podathon. I think that's what we
Okay.
announce it.
I'll keep it quiet.
It's well, I don't need to tell you that it's worth the wait. I need to tell everyone else that it's worth the wait. It's just exciting, and it's so incredible how fastly the network can evolve. And I'll also take this as a chance to say thank you. I told everyone before the show tonight. They've been incredibly patient with me because I've gotten married, I've moved, I've gotten a new job. Well, I lost my job. Then I didn't lose my job. I had my job, but I took a new job. And there was like this pandemic thing, and then there was the derecho thing. And everyone's just giving me my space and let me get my internet connection back. And it's just really great to be here, to have the excitement. I feel like it feels so good. I want you to feel that. And I want you to be excited for September 5th because I think it's some of the most incredible voices in the Star Wars community. I'm not saying that's me, but you hear like Alex Damon is going to be on the Bombad cast. I mean, can you imagine him when you think of Alex and then you have Scotty and Jerry there? They're going to have such it's going to be like an orgasm of Star Wars fun. Like it's going to be a massive climax. They usually do like 4-hour episodes, so that's long lasting.
I think that's going to be our hardest challenge is going to be trying to keep Jerry and Scotty down to an hour so that we can fit everybody in because we do have a schedule that day. It's going to be tough to do.
It's going to be tough. Usually I have a cigarette after each episode.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't actually, but you'll need a pack if you do smoke. It's going to be tough. All right, so
but I think it's really important. Let me just say one more thing, if you don't mind.
ahead.
The other really, really important thing is that we're doing this for charity, and we're doing, like a telethon. It's a podathon, and we're doing it for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There's so many great charities. It's so hard to pick one. And this year since it's our first time doing it, we wanted to pick something that we knew was going to make a very specific difference. And we've set a pretty modest goal. I mean, I think we're going to blow through it. And with your help, getting to that number so that we can, look, it's so cliched to say, but it's really important. A lot during times like this, during times of economic crisis and turmoil, organizations that collect money and are reliant on charity often lose out. This is a very hard time for them, and raising any money makes a difference in a child's life. And I think Make-A-Wish and Star Wars have worked together in the past. We are, of course, not affiliated with Lucasfilm or Star Wars, but it's a charity that if they believe in it, and we certainly believe in it, hopefully it's something that you guys can jump on board with us. We will pitch it hard on the 5th, but I just want to make sure that, yes, we're going to give you 12 hours of great. Star Wars, we don't expect anybody to stay on all 12 hours, but we are going to be putting content and content and content and content. We want to be there. We want you guys to hang out with us, but it's, don't forget that we're doing this for charity, and feel free to donate what you can, if you can. I mean, at the very least, let people know you're watching and get more people to come. If you can't donate, and we don't want to put anybody in a spot, but let other people know about it. Help us get the word out so people can follow and donate.
Yeah, I think that's great that you say that, and I'm not trying to do a soapbox here, but I got to witness the damage this derecho caused in Iowa, for example, and and it's like if people gave generously their time, their skills, their money to help this area recover. Make-A-Wish has a beautiful focus about giving folks that dream and making it happen. I have friends that actually work for Make-A-Wish in St. Louis, and I love just the joy in that, in giving someone that wish. And so we're going to help make that happen. And if you want to join us for the entire day, then damn it, do it. There's people that play WoW longer than the amount of time we're going to be giving you Star Wars, so you might as well get some brats, grill them up the night before, get a 12-pack of soda pop, and we can talk some Star Wars. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. I will tell you that we will have giveaways on, I think, every show, but I know there will be at least on Streaming Star Wars to close that run out.
Yep.
We'll have giveaways on BTBD Live. It will be like, bid, highest bid. It all goes towards donation, yada, yada, yada. But really excited for that. So hope that, that grammatically didn't sound right. Let me try that again. So glad that we were able to tell you about this tonight. We want you to join us. We've been promoting this on social media, but to have a conversation about it, please tell your family and friends. Let's get as many people eyes on that day, September 5th, so we can raise money for some really, for a really great cause. And while we're raising money for a great cause, we'll be talking about Star Wars. We have still some Star Wars to talk about now. I want to go in the live chat real quick, just see what people are saying, because we've sprung a lot on you in the last 15, 20 minutes. And then we're going to go and watch some freaking video game trailers, because that's what we do on the show. Okay, great. So, that's what we do on the show. We talk about the news, and it's news. It was breaking. We're going to talk about it. All right, so let's see. What do we have here? We have people having a conversation about some friends, and then Jerry says, "Aw, shucks, David, I promise it'll only be slightly Michael Scott awkward." So I think that's talking about his conversation with Alex Damon. So we should all be worried. And, Jerry, we just like the network to get to a year anniversary. We're all just kind of hoping for that to happen. There's honestly a lot of great conversation here. We got David Drennan with us still in live chat. Just scrolled up and saw someone's comment about coming to the area. Be sure you let us know when you come by, and he and Timothy will do whatever they can to hang out. Okay, cool. So they're having and that's what I love about the live chat, is the fact that, like I said, it's a show of its own. There are people connecting in this live chat that are trying to meet up because of the shared fandom of Star Wars. I'm so burnt out on politics. Every time I turn on the radio, it's a BS political ad. It is so refreshing just to see people be like, "Hey, I don't care about anything other than you're not a health risk and you like Star Wars." And as long as those two things, boom, we got it. Pete, is there anything we need to talk about before we watch our first trailer?
No, I think we've talked about quite a bit, and
ad nauseum.
We dumped a lot on people, but again, thanks for hanging out with us, and let's see these trailers, man. I have to be honest. I was today was my daughter's birthday, so I didn't even realize until shortly before the show that we got 3 trailers for 3 video games today, and so I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah, man, let's absolutely do this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull me up on screen real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring down, or rather bring up our trailer, and it should be right here. The first one that I think we should watch would be Star Wars Squadron, because that's selfishly the one I'm most excited about. And just so you know, it's coming out on PS5, a couple other platforms. And this is a game that is a flight simulation. Mm-hmm. If you haven't heard about this, it's a damn shame. That means you don't listen or watch BTBD Live, because we talked about it a few times already. And Shannon Moran has written literally like the Iliad version of why she's so excited about this damn game. So you should care. We care. And we're going to play it right now. I need to get my cursor going. This is live TV. This is live podcasting.
We all choose our path. Light or dark. Freedom or destruction. The Empire chose to destroy Alderaan in order to spread fear and douse the fires of rebellion. But the heroic pilots of the Rebel Alliance have chosen to keep fighting, to show the Empire that we are not afraid. It was their bravery that ended Palpatine's reign and brought about our new republic. However, the Empire lives on, shattered though it may be. As I speak, Imperial forces are edging toward the Bormia sector, hoping to end our new republic before we find our footing. As their empire collapses, they try to tighten their grip. But the galaxy is changing, and you can be a part of it. With the help of brave and daring pilots, this war can end. Make a choice. Fly with the New Republic. Change our galaxy for the better.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Hunka, narrative producer on Star Wars Squadrons. Our single-player story is one of daring pilots and deep-seated rivalries.
Take Titan Squadron. Hunt down this Starhawk and eliminate it.
I love
Gladly.
seeing Sloane right off the top of this. That's so good.
You'll fly as two pilots
it's
on
a
opposite
confirmation,
sides of
right?
the war.
I don't think so.
Experience every mission fully immersed in VR.
Wedge Antilles, Rogue Squadron. I hear you're the reason I was able to finally get a con through.
Today, we're giving you a glimpse of an early Imperial mission behind enemy lines.
One of our spies, Agent Thorne, has discovered vital intelligence on Project Starhawk. Your mission is to extract her from an orbital outpost above Hosnian Prime. Behind enemy lines, you'll have to eliminate perimeter defenses. The outpost is defenseless. When you've secured the area, you will escort the Gladius to the outpost, and our extraction team will acquire Agent Thorne. Once Thorne is secure, reach your Gozanti cruisers and return to the Overseer.
Cover our escape and escort us to the jump point. We have Republic corvettes inbound. Move, Titan!
Ladies, change course and keep Agent Thorne safe. Titan 3, take out those fighters.
Understood. I'll handle it.
You have my thanks, Titan Squadron.
No time to celebrate. Move on.
Go, go, go!
Each mission will immerse you into the escalating conflict between the New Republic and a shattered empire. Debrief with your squad mates between missions.
You're
Absolutely.
our new wingmate.
Customize and master all 8 starfighters and join the galaxy's finest.
I need you focused and ready to go.
From bombing runs at the Nadiri dockyards to setting a trap in the Xavian abyss. The story of these rival squadrons will push the war to the brink and define the galaxy for years to come. I look forward to seeing you in combat October 2nd.
How cool is that? That was like a very abruptly ended that audio, but my goodness, Pete, how beautiful was that?
I love everything. I love everything with this game, except the fact that I feel like I'm probably going to suck at it. It looks like one of those games that's going to be like so fast paced that some 8-year-old in San Diego is just going to kick my ass every time I get online to play. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Looks. I mean, I was a fan, and my Star Wars game growing up, I was in my 20s when it came out, was TIE Fighter and X-Wing, and I loved everything about those games. Those were my favorite Star Wars games ever. I mean, I'll still put that against Knights of the Old Republic and even Battlefront 2, which I love, but yeah, and Jedi Fallen Order. I just love those X-Wing TIE Fighter games. I can't wait to jump in. What I'm waiting for as a PS4 owner, I'm waiting for confirmation that you can use the flight stick. They still haven't confirmed that, and that's got to be the only way to play this, with a flight stick in hand. And
Okay.
and you know, that's, I mean, I can't do it on the controller. I can't fly things on a, you know, in a 3x3 box. I need
But
that.
you have like an actual like joystick that you can like.
Oh, I haven't bought it yet, because I've seen that you can get, there's a flight yoke for the PS4.
Heck yeah.
And I haven't gotten it yet because the only game I'll use it on will be this one. So I got to make sure it's going to work before I buy it. But, gosh, they got to have it, right? I mean, how can you play and the VR version? Imagine playing VR with a flight yoke in an X-Wing. It's over.
It's going to be,
I'll never leave the house.
It's going to be, your wife might be unhappy about that.
Yeah.
I'm like super excited about it. I didn't realize that at the time the trailer audio and our audio was coming through the same channel. So I just decided to let the trailer run out and not try and talk over it. But the thing I thought was so cool, so I'm always looking for canon connections. I think a lot of the people who enjoy our show do. And Ray Sloan at the top of that, like, I think we actually knew that Ray Sloan actually was in this game already. But to see her and hear her more, it makes me very happy.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, I want to say she kind of has a cult following, but she got some love in the Aftermath trilogy, which was really exciting. So glad to see her there. I'm getting more and more into this idea, this notion that the Empire and the Rebellion have these squadrons that have reputations. Like, all I've done in my Star Wars fandom time, my time as a fan, is I like the Rebels, or I like the Clones, or I like the Separatists. But I never got like, well, I like the individual squad. But like now, like in the last year, we have the Bad Batch, which will get their own series now. We know this. And we have now Titan. Like, that's a badass title for a squadron of TIE fighter pilots. Like, that's awesome. And I guess I'm buying a joystick too, because I want to be cool too. I mean, I want to feel like I'm in a freaking fighter too. So I'm going to do that. I'm at the edge of my seat. You know, DC fandom, or whatever they called it last weekend, blew my socks off. Would love, honest to God, if every convention just became that. Lucasfilm, please take note. I'm that the Harley game. There's what is it? There's another DC game coming out. You got Star Wars Squadron coming out. I think I'm just gonna buy a PS5. I think it has playback ability. So we're gonna do all of this. Really excited about this game. I like there's again a campaign. I'm a big story-driven guy because I can't survive online play. I'm not that good unless it's Tiger Woods 2004. So I'm really satisfied with the footage that we got today. It was bizarre. Like, I wasn't paying any attention, honest to God. I forgot that this was supposed to be Star Wars Celebration weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, if this was Star Wars Celebration weekend, I would have been. We all would have been hanging out together this weekend. So this is great that they're giving us this sort of thing. Yeah, it's funny you're saying that about video games too, because the online games, I'm awful at. My son's like, play Fortnite with me, and like we get killed immediately, and he blames me. Meanwhile, he plays by himself. He's like winning battle royales all the time. So the boy is 8 years old. So this is how I know. That's the only thing. But that's why I'm really glad there's a campaign, so I can suck by myself, and nobody needs to see it. So
I think I'm going to spend a lot of time just drifting. I think what's going to be hard for me the first time I do a mission. I just want to fly around. Like, I want to be what I want to be is in an X-wing fighter, so I can like bank. That looks like so fun. I watched it happen a lot in A New Hope. I want to bank in an X-wing fighter. And what I'm also curious about with this game, Pete, is the DLC that the future content for this, because can you imagine being able to have this experience like in a snow speeder on Hoth, or even be like one of those little speeders around Bespin? I don't care, and like little pod things. I don't care. I'll fly whatever.
Yeah, no, I think they're gonna load it up, because I think they saw it with Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2. I won't go into it here because we could go on for hours about it. But Battlefront 2 came out and came with a lot of challenges and issues and customer complaints, and now people are worried that it's coming to the end of its life cycle, and because it was so well done, and it's because of the DLC. They kept us engaged, they kept us going without having to buy. I mean, let's face it, in the past we would have had to buy 6 different games to get all the DLC we've gotten for Battlefront. So give us DLC for Squadrons, we'll stay close, we'll keep playing it, and we're all making the very short leap that it's going to be an amazing game. So
it's going to be a blast. Next up, we're going to do Lego Star Wars, which I'm really excited about. And Pete, maybe I'm wrong for thinking this, but I really don't want YouTube to take down this episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop playing these trailers full screen.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use your double box as the window where I'm going to play the next game, or the next game trailer, I should say. And then hopefully YouTube doesn't try and penalize me. I just
don't like saying
us.
Penalize.
It is our show now. Well, it's a kind of a gross word. It really is a gross word. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up now in the double box. And we're going to do this. See, it says Pete's name. Pete's not there. It's okay, fam.
Yeah.
We're just going to watch the trailer because that's what we want to do. Oh my God, yes. Oh,
I want to
love
learn the
Legos.
ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
The Force is unusually strong with him.
It's like the game.
That much is clear. Twisted by
Oh,
the
yeah.
dark side. Young Skywalker has
A fishing rod?
A fishing rod.
Trying to get him out of the lava.
Pulling out the jet.
That boy is our last hope.
No, there is another.
I'm from the Resistance. Your sister Leia sent me. We need your help.
What makes Lego great? It's laugh out loud funny and a fun game.
The Force will be with you, always.
This is why this game keeps getting delayed. There's how many hours does this game to be?
Punch it! Not him, the Falcon.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
So be it, Jedi.
Okay, that was pretty great. I thought you were about to sneeze, Pete. You were off camera, but
I was taking a big.
I was
big
like,
chunk.
oh my gosh, he's going down as soon as we're able to finish the trailer. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I think Star Wars is always better when it's Lego.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny. I thought it was adorable. I thought at times like it's just kind of fun to go through that soundtrack. But my goodness, you said it during that trailer. I'm not sure if everyone was able to hear you, but you asked just how long is this game going to be?
Yeah.
Having to go through all these movies. I mean, I think it's safe to say somewhere between like 8 and 14. There is an article that dropped today on StarWars.com. They dropped the trailer in correlation with an article on the main website, and they give some details about just what this story entails. It is the Skywalker saga in Lego form, and as you saw, like there's like heartwarming moments, but there's also that classic like humor that comes with these Lego games. I have all of them, especially back when I had a PS2, I had the ones that were for PS2. They're great. You know, kids can enjoy them.
Yeah.
The adults can enjoy them too.
Yeah, it's a great game that I can play with my son, and it's also I could play it with my daughter, but she doesn't play video games as much. But the just the fact that the holiday special is coming back as Lego Star Wars is great. In fact, that's one of the things David Drennan and I were saying about Silver Colored Knob is we kind of think ourselves as sort of the Lego Star Wars of music, because we're very self-aware. We know it's humorous. We're making connections for the people who really pay close attention to Star Wars like we all do, but it's kind of fun at that high level. Lego does that too. There's so many deep cuts in every single Lego story. You have to watch the backgrounds. You have to watch the things going on, because there's references to things that only the most committed fans are going to find. And and the gameplay is fun. It's a fun game every single time. So this is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, Pete. I think it's going to give me an opportunity, and it's again forcing my hand to go get a platform to play the game.
It's working. It's working.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is working. They're going to get my money. Like, what a PS5 is going to cost me probably like $500,000.
Yeah, maybe.
$500. But I'm so excited about all the games that are coming out. I mentioned the DC games that I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about Squadron. Lego is going to be like a lot of fun, and just like you mentioned, you can enjoy it yourself. You can enjoy it with your kids. And I like the humor, like that moment at the end with Palpatine is like, just as like a Lego Star Wars collector, like that's freaking funny, man. For him to pull out the lightning pieces. So
try to throw them. Yeah, that's great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. I think I had a more pleasant experience watching that than the gameplay of Squadron, just because I think we've seen quite a bit of that already, and I guess I've been living under a rock. I felt like this was my first time really seeing how they're going to approach, because we've got like prequel Star Wars Lego game already. We have an original trilogy Lego version, already. So it'll be interesting how they kind of go through the same adventure differently for this game. It's going to be pretty cool, and we'll make sure to keep an eye out for any updates, see if we can figure out how long maybe that story is going to run you, what's all the fun unlockable stuff. There's a lot to come with all these games.
Yeah, apparently there's 500 potential characters you can play, literally 500. The other thing that was just sort of interesting, I think it was sometime today, or maybe it was yesterday, they the Lego website posted it that it was going to be coming in 2021. We've been expecting it by the end of this year.
Yeah,
it got pushed, but now the site says coming soon. So I don't know what that means. All I know is 2020 just sucks. So at some point, it wouldn't surprise me if it really is pushed. Again, it looks like there's a lot of gameplay that they're trying to get into it. Apparently also Bad Batch is going to be a playable group in this game. So
cool.
They might just be trying to make sure they're getting everything in this game, and wait for DLC, put it out, and we'll catch it later. I'm cool with that. So
well, and look at what they did with Star Wars Battlefront. The second one, I mean, it was a game that we got the campaign a lot. I don't know anyone who didn't like the campaign, other than it felt kind of short.
Yeah.
But as far as like downloadable content, they kept us buying more DLC. I mean, I guess did you have to buy the DLC? I think it was free DLC. You were able to get
free,
that. Yeah, you were able to get that for the next 2 years after that game came out. So I feel like they should be able to do that with this, especially with 500 playable characters. You can be Yaddle. That's cool. And we know that she's still recovering from giving birth to the child.
Yeah, look, she's fighting pretty well.
Yeah, she's in pretty good shape, considering her age too, right? So no, I'm probably fanboying about that one the most. But yeah, kind of a bummer that it got delayed. But honestly, at this point, you can't make 2020 better. So let's just get
let's stick on a pig.
As crappy as 2020 is going to be, think about 2020 on how that's going to be. You're going to get new Star Wars shows, new Star Wars games. There's going to be a vaccine. We'll be able to see family again. It's going to be the best. Okay, so we have, I think, one more trailer to watch. And I'm going to be honest, Pete, I don't know where you stand on this. I did not play The Sims growing up. I have friends who play The Sims. I don't give a rat's ass about The Sims. I won't be getting this game. And I don't think that this game is being marketed to me. And I'll tell you why. I didn't pull up this image, but I think it kind of tells you everything you need to know. It's just, you get like the darkness of Star Wars Squadron. You get, the clashing the sabers with Lego. And then over bottom right, it's like social hour with lightsabers. This was the graphic that I was supposed to play before we started doing the trailer reviews, and then Pete and I made the announcement that we're going to join the show together, and I just forgot about my production. Okay, so I wanted to show the damn graphic. All right,
all went to hell.
Yes. It all went to hell. It's how it goes. We're doing this live.
Yeah.
No, but we're going to go ahead and play The Sims 4. This is going to be coming out. I'm spacing on the release date. I believe it's next year.
I think it's October. No, I think it's October of.
This one was the October game. Okay,
yeah,
okay, that's available September 8th. We were both wrong. We just completely
even
effed that
sooner
up.
than we needed.
Even this just in. We're getting The Sims for Star Wars on September 8th. So we really did a great job there with that breaking news. We're off to a great start here on streaming Star Wars. BTB Live, streaming Star Wars. Rip, is it too soon? Oh, God. Streaming Star Wars is coming to a fiery end on September 5th. Join us for the podathon. It's going to be great. Okay,
I like to think of those shirts as now being collectibles. I think we've just upped the value of the shirts.
Yeah, it's like I have the pin. I don't have Pete up on the screen, but Pete, I have the original Beyond the Blast Door pins that I still have to send to Andy, and I think Andy doesn't even want the damn pin now. So, all right, with that said, let's go ahead and play this next. This is the last trailer. This is The Sims for Star Wars. Be sure you let us know if you're watching live. Let us know in the live chat what you think about these games, which ones excites you the most. We do have a poll right now at BTBD Star Wars on Twitter. Let us know which is your favorite. We'll pull that poll up here to close out the show. But let's go ahead and enjoy The Sims for Star Wars. The Journey to Batuu. Could this be a more cost-effective way to visit Galaxy's Edge? We'll find out.
Oh, wow. Anjima. One genie. Shupaza Waf. Option Koiba.
Nirma, Wegrin.
Yep, Sim.
Well, how about that? Let's take a moment and process, everybody. What we just watched there, that was something special. You know what I almost said, Pete, during that, and I'm glad I didn't say it, because it would have been just as stupid as it sounds right now. But I'm like, oh, it's like The Sims. I did not realize until, like, I don't know, halfway through that they are like they're talking in like this weird language.
It's that crazy Sims language.
It's the Sims language.
Yeah.
I don't play The Sims. I didn't know that. But it looks like you basically get to go to the park. You get your own lightsaber. There was V Morarty. She was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Pete. You know, you gonna play? You gonna let your kids play this game?
I think I've already said more than I need to about this game. I think, and I've said nothing. You know, I think the only Batuu game I'm looking forward to is the Oculus one that they're working on. Give me that. And you know, here's the thing. I have to be mindful of that though, because there are people who love The Sims and love everything about it. And if you're a Sims fan and a Star Wars fan,
that's great for you.
This is probably like amazing for you. I have considered playing The Sims many times. I've never tried it. My real life is, you know, bizarre enough. I don't need Sims, but I don't know. I think I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. Here's the problem, and if I'm being realistic, I'm probably going to end up getting it and trying it, and I don't know if I'll like it or not. But just because I just can't, like, I just feel like I'll end up. I'm that, you know, when they're doing the marketing plan, they're like, all right, which people are we going to be able to move? We know we got the Sims people. We know, and they're like, there's that middle section. I'm that middle section. I will probably one afternoon be like, all right, I guess I'll just go check it out.
No. Listen, Pete. You were a successful businessman. You have a beautiful wife and family. You have a parody Star Wars band. You podcast 15 nights a week. What more excitement could you get out of this game?
Good point. I don't know if there's much more it can do for me. So
there is good reason why this was put out there on the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel. Obviously, this is geared towards the kids. So here you have two, you know, adult Star Wars fans going, "Yeah, why are you being?" Listen, I get it. It's for the kids, and I'm so excited for them. A great social opportunity for them.
Mm-hmm.
I would still encourage your kid to go outside, play basketball, throw rocks at a window, spray paint, something more. But if this is what you want, that's fine. If that's what you want them to do is play this Star Wars game, I just think it's weird to spend your life, you know, living in a digital life. But
you mean like on Twitter?
Well, that's your problem, dude. That's like your cocaine, man.
It is.
You're
it really
a junkie.
Is.
You're a junkie for that digital blue love. No, you know what? I think, like you said, Pete, if you're a Sims person, you love it.
This is great, yeah.
And it's great. And if you're not a Sims person, well, guess what? We got 2 other games that we got to look at today that are probably right up your alley. And if you still don't like those games, you curmudgeon of a person, then you can go on Steam and download the N64 Pod Racer game.
Yes.
I'm sorry, N64. That would be, yeah, Nintendo 64. I thought I said Project 64, which is, I think, the illegal emulator that allowed you to play those games on your PC in the mid-2000s. So I guess I'm busted. But no, what a great day. We didn't get Celebration, but we got all these trailers today, and it makes me wonder, Pete, and if we want to kind of end on this note, are we supposed to keep a lookout for like the next couple of days? Like, could there be bigger news in the next 48 hours in the Star Wars world?
So here's my little. I guess I'll kind of give a little bit of. Might as well. I mean, there's what? How many people are in the chat right now? We got
12 with us live right now,
so
and Max, we had about 20.
All right, so we have enough people for me to. So Force Fest, which is happening this weekend, should be a lot of fun. They got some really great guests. But what's interesting is, I was doing some. I did some initial groundwork with them on that, and I'm really proud of them, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And I'll be watching this weekend, but I'm not a part of it, but that's okay. What was interesting to me was that I was the one that reached out to Lucasfilm to let them know that we were going to do Force Fest, and they only had a couple questions, and I didn't get the sense that they were planning to do anything that was like a DC fandom or anything like that. That being said, I think they are fully aware that we as fans are remembering that we would be there this weekend. And I have no inside source. I have no inside information, but I would almost guarantee that the Mando trailer will drop this weekend. And I know I sound like others who have said it before, but that's what I would say would happen, because I think we're going to continue to get the kind of news that they would have put out. Look, marketing plans are based on time, year, quarter, etc. So anything that would have been announced this weekend had a marketing plan that goes with it. There's already things in motion. Now, I know COVID has screwed up a ton of marketing plans and a ton of schedules and things like that, but anything that's in the can that they were planning to market, and if any of you are signed up for Star Wars Celebration that was supposed to happen this year, you got the note, the email about the available merchandise. So they're still selling ESB 40 stuff. They are, so I think, marketing plans have been planned to kick off this weekend. This has been a date that's been circled on calendars for EA, for Disney Plus, for films, for major events. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Keep your eyes on Twitter this weekend. I think there's going to be a lot going on.
I'm really excited, and we have some mutual friends that are really good at getting inside scoops about a variety of things, and people taking heat. They take heat for if things don't drop right at the moment. Listen, no one really knows when that trailer is going to drop except the people on the inside of Lucasfilm. But how cool would it be, whether it's Force Fest or if it's the Podathon on September 5th when that trailer drops? Like, someone's going to be live when that thing drops, and that show's going to break. The internet's going to break. It's going to be really cool whenever that trailer arrives. There's a lot that we're hoping to see.
Yep.
There's a lot of characters that we're hoping to see in that Season 2 trailer. So, my God, it's only, if you think about it, we're only like 2 months away from Season 2 because it drops in October.
Yeah. I mean, we're months, right? Because we're at the end of August right now. So we're 6 weeks away, right? Possibly. Do we know the date in October that Mando 2 starts?
I think we just know it's October at this point.
Yeah.
So we're just really overjoyed about what's coming down the pipeline. We'll keep an eye out, but the next 48 hours, we're kind of on standby. We have the studio is permanently set up, so if we need to jump on YouTube, we'll do that, okay? But my goodness, it's been a wild ride. 90 minutes. That's how long this episode was. That's a great thing when you're on the radio. You have a hard out. Guess what?
Right.
YouTube, you just keep going.
Yeah, YouTube, you just go.
Thanks to everyone in the live chat. We appreciate you. We're so glad that you could join us tonight. Pete, thank you for making time out of your day to jump on here. This was not originally the plan for you and I to talk this long tonight, but it's just, I think that anyone part of this conversation can see and hear the excitement that we have, how we love talking about Star Wars together, and I think with a little bit more soda or like some caffeine, we'll be just a dangerous combination next weekend.
Red Bulls, baby, Red Bulls.
We got Vader Girls 28 in the live chat saying, great show, guys. Gilster says, wake me up when September ends. Great song, great band, great usage of that. Well played. We got Nick saying, congratulations. Gallinorian Saber said, great show, enjoyed it. Mr. Rest says, great stream. Gilster says, bravo. We should feel proud. And I am so excited to start the next version of BTBD Live next Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, with you, Mr. Pete Fletzer, at my side. And as always, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at BTBD Star Wars. And also listen at iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Pete, anything we need to get out there before we get out of here?
No, I think we're good. I think we have a couple shows next week, but I also will say it might be a little light on the network before September 5th. I think we're working our way toward that. But yes, you will see David and I together again at last on Thursday next week. I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun, buddy, and I'm just thankful to be doing this with you. We flashed the Podathon template one more time. We had it on all of our social media. Be sure you check that out. Be sure you join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, big thanks to David Drennan with Silver-Colored Knob for joining us this week. We'll be back next week. May the Force be with you.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.